What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna go over my Hoyt VTM 31, what I have done to it, the sight I'm running, the rest that I'm running, the stabilizers I'm running, the configuration of the stabilizers, just everything about the bow, a full overview of the Hoyt VTM 31. I realized I have not made this video for you guys in terms of how I have my bow set up. I've been making a bunch of videos with the bow, but I've had some questions from you guys. How is the bow set up? What poundage am I drawing? What draw length? What sight am I running? Stabilizers, all that type of stuff. So like I said, we're gonna cover all of that in today's video. So here we go. We've got the 2023 Hoyt VTM 31. I've got this bow in bourbon. That is the colorway for this bow. And I actually got this bow last year during the fall, and I hunted about half of the fall with it, and the other half of the fall I hunted with my RX-7. So this bow has already been put through the paces, and it is tried and true at this point. Absolutely love this bow. Like I say, I took it on several different hunts. It came to Kansas with me, came to South Texas with me, it came to Oklahoma with me, it came to Arizona with me, so it's been put through the paces already. Absolutely love this bow. I love the colorway. As you can see, it is definitely new, definitely different. The color, like I mentioned earlier, is called bourbon. To be honest, the first time I took it out of the box, I was a little bit taken back at the color in person. It was just so drastically different from anything else that I'd seen on the market. So I wasn't sure if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but the longer that I had the bow, the color started kind of setting in on me. And now I've grown to really like this color. It took a little bit of time, I won't lie. Right out of the gate, I wasn't entirely sold on the color, but now that I've had the bow for a while and I've hunted with it, it matches to a ton of different variants that you see in the woods, especially during the fall time frame. So it matches to your CRP grasses. It matches very well to bark. It matches very well to the Arizona rocks. So a lot of the rocks in Arizona kind of had that like reddish brown color to it. It matches with a lot of the colors that you see in Oklahoma, a lot of the colors you see in Texas. There's a lot of like the red dirt vibe with this bow. And man, I just, like I say, the more I've had it, the more the color has grown on me, and I've come to love it so much. So yeah, blends in extremely well with colors in nature. So let's get into the actual specs of this bow, how I have it set up, and then we'll get into the accessories that I have bolted on. All right, let's go over the factory specs of the bow as it would have come out of the box. So the bow is a 31-inch axle to axle. It is 342 feet per second ATA, has a 6-inch brace height, 4.6 pounds completely bare. Your draw length range can be from 25 to 30 inches depending on which cam you have. I have a 25 to 28 inch cam. Draw weights, you can get anywhere from 30 pounds all the way up to 80 pounds. So this bow has 70, 80 pound limbs on it, and I have it turned all the way up, completely finished out. It's about 82 pounds said and done. Those are the factory specs for the bow out of the box. Now, let's talk a little bit about some of the new features for this bow versus last year's Venom Pro. So a few things that stayed the same on this bow and a few things that got changed. One thing that stayed the same is the cam system. The HBX Pro cam system was on the Venom Pro of last year. Butter smooth cam, absolutely love that cam on the Venom Pro as well as the RX-7. So this was also the cam system of the RX-7. I used the RX-7 during my elk hunt. I used it during several of my whitetail hunts. I killed several of my whitetails with my RX-7. I killed a couple deer with this bow, and man, like I say, the cam system is just amazing draw cycle, especially for 80 pounds, 82 pounds specifically for this bow. It draws like a dream. The VTM 31 also has a few things different with the riser itself. There's a few more cutouts. Specifically on the back of the riser, there's actually a hole cutout for your drop away cord for your rest. That's a great little feature because you can run it right through the center of the back of the riser and have everything perfectly in line. And as you draw the bow, you don't have any type of restriction or friction on the actual cable from your rest. You're also going to have a hole machined here on the front of the riser so that if you're running something like a Garmin Zero or you're running an electronic light on your sight, you can run the wiring directly through the center of the riser. Also new for the VTM series, obviously, is the bourbon color. This is a brand new colorway for Hoyt. The 2023 bows, pretty much all of the flagship bows, the RX-7, the VTM, the RX-7 Ultra, the VTM Ultra, all of those flagship bows are going to be available with the bourbon color or a variation of the bourbon color if you custom order it. Let's talk a little bit about the accessories that I have on the bow, as well as the Hoyt specific accessories that are on the bow. The first Hoyt specific accessory that is on the bow is going to be the Hoyt Go Stick system. The Go Stick system is going to allow you to set the bow down whether you're hunting out of a ground blind, whether you're doing a 3D tournament, spot and stalking, anything where you're going to set the bow down and want it to still be standing in an upright position. The Go Stick mount just mounts to your lower stabilizer mount, which these Hoyts have an upper and a lower forward stabilizer mount, which is really nice for if you have a shorter bar and you want it to feel a little bit like a longer bar. You can put it in the lower stabilizer position and you can achieve a lot of that forward weight easier without having to stack a ton of weights on your bar or run an extremely long bar. You can carry these carbon rods either in your pocket or in a backpack, little side pouch or something like that, or you can put them directly in your quiver. So if you have a quiver on your bow, say it's a 5 or a 6 arrow quiver, you can put these carbon rods in one of the positions on the quiver and have them with you at all times, so that if you're in a ground blind, you're going in and out, you can just grab these right out of your quiver, throw them on real quick. Like I say, they just screw into these little lower mounting positions, just like that. They're attached, and the bow's ready to set down wherever you'd like. While we're talking about the stabilizer mounting positions, we can talk about the Hoyt sidebar bracket. This is a Hoyt specific sidebar bracket that mounts to a machined hole on the riser, and you have full mobility of your back bar, whichever position you want to put it in. You put it where you want, you can lock it in easily. The back bar also has a quick detach function. Makes it very easy to break the bow down and bring it with you on trips, pack it in a bow case nice and tight. Love the stabilizer mount system as well as the stabilizers themselves. Now, what bars am I running on this bow? These are the Hoyt Carbon Pro bars, and they have the accents matched in bourbon color. They're a carbon bar. The front bar is a 10-inch bar. My back bar is an 8-inch bar. I am currently running 4 ounces on the front, 9 ounces on the rear. Absolutely love this setup. The bow holds and shoots extremely well, very quiet, dead in the hand. Love these bars. Now let's move on to the rest. I'm running a Hoyt QAD Ultra Rest MX. This is the Integrate system. Now I absolutely love this rest. The Integrate system mounts directly on this inline rail. If you can see that little notch right there, it's machined out of the back side of the riser, and it clamps down to that machined portion on the riser. Now, the Ultra Rest Integrate is like my favorite rest of all time. The Ultra Rest HD of previous years, I really loved that rest too. I never had it ever give me any problems while hunting, while shooting on a 3D course, anything. I never had any of the QAD rests mess up on me, so I've always been a big believer in the QADs. The Ultra Rest Integrate MX is just a next step above the Ultra Rest HD. Now the MX is a micro adjustable rest. You have a ton of adjustment with your elevation knob and your windage knob. The rest just gives you a very fine micro adjustment, which is perfect for when you're trying to paper tune the bow, walk back tuning, anything that you need to move the rest and don't want a big jump in movement, just slight little clicks. This rest is perfect. All right, moving on to the sight, we've got the black gold dual track. So this sight is actually a dual pin slider that your second pin is adjustable up and down. So by having that second pin adjustable, you can actually set your top pin, say for 20 yards where your tape starts. You can set your bottom pin and your bottom indicator for whatever you'd like. So I have it set at 20 and 40 yards. So I know when my sight is locked up at the top, my top pin is going to be 20 yards, my bottom pin is going to be 40 yards. That gives me an idea of if I need to gap shoot. If the deer moves out, I range him at 27 and he moves out to 38. I know exactly where I need to hold on my sight housing in order to make that shot without making an actual adjustment on the rail. Perfect. I absolutely love this sight for hunting. She's a little bit beat up. This sight was actually on my Venom Pro. I took it off and put it on the VTM once I got this bow, and it's been through the ringer, but it is just bulletproof. I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. Just a little bit of cosmetics. The thing's a little bit beat up, but that's just how it goes when you put it through all the abuse that I do on these hunts. And yeah, love this sight. Holds up extremely well. It is a Picatinny mounted system, which I absolutely love. With the Picatinny mount on the VTM, the RX-7, it allows you to run a quiver that is very, very flush mount on the bow. So it allows you to suck your quiver in just, I mean, as tight as you possibly can, honestly. You can run your quiver all the way in pretty much to where it touches the riser. I back it off just a hair and then it just runs perfectly in line with the rest of the bow, keeps everything sucked in nice and tight. So I absolutely love the Picatinny mount system. As for my grip, I'm just running the factory Hoyt grip. And then I have a piece of D-loop material tied through, and that's just to be able to slide my wrist through and have something to hang on to when I'm spot and stalking, when I'm shooting out of a tree stand and I have a really hard angle. It really doesn't serve any purpose other than not dropping my bow and being able to hold on to my bow when I'm self-filming and just run and gun type of situation. So as for a peep sight with this bow, I'm running a 3/16 peep. The 3/16 peep has been my favorite size for hunting as well as 3D shooting. Everyone's going to be a little bit different with their peep sight. I think it's totally personal preference, but the 3/16 peep works perfectly to align my housing and be able to gather enough light in a hunting scenario. Let's talk about the Hoyt quiver. The quiver mounts directly to the bow with these pegs right here, one on the bottom and one on the top. And then they just tighten down with these little knobs. This is an all new quiver system for Hoyt as of 2023. So it's a one-piece quiver and it has one bar, one vertical bar here. It's all carbon and it's extremely rigid. So once this thing's on, it is like part of the bow, which is exactly what you want in a quiver system. It also allows you to suck it in very, very tight to the bow. Like I was mentioning earlier with the sight system, as you can see, the actual arrows and the rail are inside of where the actual sight is. I also really enjoy running a tight spot quiver on these bows. The tight spot is able to suck in as close as you want to the riser. I run a tight spot on my RX-7, but yeah, I just wanted to show you guys how close you can get a quiver to the riser on this bow. I mean, it's just ridiculous how tight that thing can get. And I think with all the inline system in place, it just ties the bow together extremely well and makes for a really aesthetically pleasing bow. It's just, man, everything about this bow I love. It looks great, it shoots great, holds great. I mean, indestructible. I put my bows through so much abuse, guys. Like, I can't even explain the amount of abuse that I actually put my bows through. It's pretty bad. Like during the hunts, these things get put through the ringer, but they always hold up. That's why I love shooting Hoyt, and I've shot Hoyt for over a decade. I mean, they're just amazing bows and I love shooting them. And as far as the arrows go, this bow right now was set up for turkey season and I was shooting Easton Axis 340s with brass inserts up front, 4-fletch Whitetail Fit Vivid vanes, and Whitetail Fit wraps. So in total, oh, and a 100 grain head. So in total, these arrows come out to 450 grains. I'm shooting it out of an 82-pound bow. And if we can go off the accuracy of the black gold sight tape, it's running 297 feet per second. I'm not entirely sure if those sight tapes are like exact, but they're pretty dang close. They're probably within 5 feet per second. So I'm shooting mid 290s with this bow, 450 grain arrow, 82 pounds, pulling 27 inches. And man, this thing screams, it hits hard, it holds great, it shoots great. dead in the hand. The draw cycle's awesome. Hoyts are known for an incredible draw cycle. And man, I love everything about this bow. So anyway, I just wanted to make a video for you guys going over the entire bow and explaining how I have it set up. And yeah, I think that's it. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.